My name is Shelby. Before finding the Intimacy Accelerator program, our sex life was pretty good. We were very active. That kind of changed once he and I moved in together, and we struggled a lot with intimacy. By the time I had joined the program, we had probably not had sex in almost 5 or 6 months. High tension, high stress, and both of us were very much loved each other, but we're struggling because that's a really important part of a relationship. And when we're not getting that intimate connection, it tends to make things a lot more stressful. I lost a lot of confidence in me, and I felt kind of like I was broken and didn't really know how to go about fixing those broken parts, if you will. And it was really frustrating. I'm definitely somebody that's incredibly like type A, and like I want to be able to go from point A to point B and like fix the problem. And it really wasn't happening, and I couldn't quite figure out why. And you know, no amount of like reading a book or listening to a podcast, like some of the information was helpful, but I was struggling to put it all together in real life. And I felt incredibly lost. I wanted to be more intimate with him, and I wanted to have that joy and pleasure back in our relationship. As my doubts or fears going into the Intimacy Accelerator program, I definitely, there was a little bit of me that was like, well, what if this doesn't work? Or what if I don't change? Or what if this is it? And, I certainly the little voice in the back of your head of like, oh, okay, what happens if this isn't something I can, fix? I saw like a complete 180 change in my perspective of my relationship, how I view myself, and how I view intimacy as a whole. It really changed my life and continues to change my life. And also the incredible community that this program creates for you. It really made me feel seen and heard, and that I wasn't, showed me that I wasn't alone, and that there's so many other people in the world that feel the same way that I do, or have similar stories or struggles to my own, and, with their partners. And, it really gives you foundational skills for the rest of your life. In and out, inside the bedroom, but also outside of the bedroom. Finishing the program, I think some of the biggest changes I've seen in my intimate life and, with sex is that I'm able to better communicate with my partner. One, while we're intimate with each other, because that was definitely a thing that wasn't happening beforehand. Being able to have fun with intimacy again has been so wonderful, because I think prior to joining the program, before we had gone on a little bit of a hiatus, I think a lot of it was just going through the motions, and really just not enjoying intimacy. And so it's brought a lot of joy and excitement back to somebody who may be on the fence or unsure if this is the right program for them. It's very cliche, but you don't know what something's going to do for you unless you try. Do it. Like 1,000% do it. If I, could go back in time, I wouldn't change a thing. I would do it again. I would wholeheartedly do it 1,000 times over and over and over again, because it was well worth the effort and investment and everything. So yes, do it. If you're on the fence, do it.